Some of you have accused me of being a traitor to my country, a Russian asset, a Trojan horse, or a useful idiot, I think was the term that you used. So if you're saying it's not deliberately, then you are implying that I am too stupid and too naive and lack the intelligence to know what I am doing. That is extremely offensive to me and to every woman of color.
Oh, I like her.
Wow. Tulsi Gabbard handled her business. 2020 Democrat confronting The View co-host Joe Behar over a comment Behar made last month that Gabbard was acting as a, quote, end quote, useful idiot for the Russians. Behar defended the description, noting that useful idiot is the term Russian communists have used for a century to describe naive Western sympathizers. Well, you saw Gabbard on that. Behar also brought up compliments Gabbard has gotten from the likes of white nationalist Richard Spencer. Guy Benson.
Well, I think that Tulsi Gabbard has gotten a lot of mileage out of these attacks. She just qualified for another debate. Hillary Clinton went after her in that
I saw her tweet on that
reckless and irresponsible way, and she fired back. And Tulsi shows up on the set of The View, and that was yesterday. Today was even more lit, apparently. Different guests. But she was like, okay, I have memorized some of the things that you said about me. I'm now here. Let's have it out. And I think she acquitted herself pretty well, despite the fact that I have very profound disagreements with her positions on foreign policy. I think that she's like, okay, if you're going to tell me that I'm, you know, a communist or that I'm a moron who doesn't understand what I'm doing, I'm a traitor even though I serve the country, let's have that discussion. And I think, again, this is something that she's happy to have that conversation.
How do you think Joy Behar handled, Jessica, when the conversation became about Hillary Clinton being a warmonger, which is what Gabbard's comeback was when Hillary Clinton called her and Jill Stein, both in the Democrat Party, sort of, with Jill Stein, assets of the Russians?
I think it was handled fine because people are not really moving on this debate. Tulsi Gabbard has a very specific point of view and argument that she is taking mostly to conservative media. And that is important and notable. I have huge issues with her foreign policy as well. I don't really understand.
Would you call her a Russian asset?
Well, Russian asset, just to be clear, does not mean that you are knowingly participating in this. And what Hillary Clinton,
anyone could be a Russian asset.
Absolutely, I could be a Russian asset if
Karloff.
I was.
See, I disagree with that.
But that's the definition of it.
It does imply that you're,
of course, it implies that you know exactly what's going on.
Right.
What Hillary Clinton,
useful idiot is the one that implies you don't know it.
Hillary Clinton in Hillary Clinton's podcast interview, what she originally said was that there is somebody, she didn't even name Tulsi, but it was confirmed by Nick Merrill, is a favorite of the Russians. And you cannot deny the support that Tulsi Gabbard has online from the same. No, she said Jill Stein was an asset, did not say that about Tulsi.
Also a Russian asset.
Yeah, she did.
Also a Russian asset.
It has been
meaning that
debated.
The previous person mentioned, which you just said Nick Merrill confirmed.
No, he did not confirm that. No one on the Clinton side.
Yes, they did. They said if the nesting don't fit.
Yes, thank you.
If the nesting don't fit, if that's not a confirmation, what is it?
I'm saying the confirmation was about that Hillary was talking about Tulsi, saying that the GOP is grooming her to run third party.
We spent 2 years
nesting
watching
dolls
Democrats
Tulsi Gabbard is not going to be the nominee
of a Russian investigation against the current president, which he all along called a witch hunt and a hoax. And the Bob Mueller report comes out, and now we don't even talk about it anymore because Democrats have moved on to the next thing.
Like maybe we should be more careful about calling.
But now there's an argument about Russia, and it has to do with whether or not Hillary Clinton thinks a couple of the candidates won last time around for a different party, and now Gabbard for Democrats, might be Russian assets. I mean,
it was a really flimsy claim that Hillary Clinton made. And she also was basically saying that in 2016, Jill Stein, because she was running third party, and Russians need a third party candidate in order to beat the Democrat, which is not necessarily true, then that would mean Gary Johnson was also a Russian asset. He wasn't.
I guess I'm just looking at this.
He ran in 2012 and so did Jill Stein.
But he wasn't
talking
backed
about Russia.
by
We
Russian
know that
forces.
this is what they're thirsty for to begin with. They want to see us divided.
Yep. They do, and we should be more careful about how we describe our political opponents when there's a claim that they are like working on behalf of a foreign adversary. Come on.
All right, we'll move on.
In the meantime, Tulsi Gabbard going on The View and punching back after Joy Behar called her a quote-unquote useful idiot for the Russians. Watch this heated exchange.
Some of you have accused me of being a traitor to my country, a Russian asset, a Trojan horse, or a useful idiot, I think was the term that you used. If you're saying it's not deliberately, then you are implying that I am too stupid and too naive and lack the intelligence to know what I am doing. That is extremely offensive.
You're on state TV all the time. Why do you go on Fox?
I go on Tucker Carlson, go on Brett Baier, go on Sean Hannity, go on MSNBC, go on CNN. I am here to speak to every single American in this country.
Lee Carter is a pollster and partner at Melansky & Associates. Robbie Suave is associate editor at Reason Magazine. Good to see you both.
Great to be here.
Thank you. I wonder, what do you think, Lee, about this idea of here, some of the ladies on The View have been sort of beating up on Tulsi Gabbard. It started with Hillary Clinton going after her, and then she confronts them. They start running from what they've said before about calling her a useful idiot and all the rest. And secondly, calling Fox State TV, even when she's coming on all the networks, trying to get her views out there.
You know, I think the thing that's really, really remarkable here is that when people can't imagine that someone might disagree with them, that might have totally different policy ideas, that might have totally different ideas, and when they do, they have to blame it on either Russia or call Fox News state TV. They just can't get it through their heads that there are people that have differing opinions. And as a result, they keep stepping in it and making more and more mistakes. And in fact, they're going to have quite the opposite effect of what they want to have. This is going to make Tulsi Gabbard more popular. This is going to make more people want to support Fox News. And I think that they're short-sighted in their arguments. They're so emotional that they can't see the forest for the trees.
Robbie, what's really going on here with these allegations from various Democrats, some in the media, that Tulsi Gabbard has some sort of ulterior motive, rather than just looking at her campaign at face value?
Yeah, I think a lot of this is sour grapes, or trying to relitigate what the left or what Democrats or what Hillary Clinton thought happened in 2016 and project that onto the future. I mean, but it's just nonsense. Obviously, Tulsi is advocating policies. You may disagree with them, but they are different from what Democrats and Republicans have been saying for the last 2, maybe even 3 decades. And that's what's bothering these kinds of this existing establishment. Now, by the way, it's just false if she were to run as a third-party candidate that she would be some spoiler for the Democrat. I mean, that's completely unproven. In fact, most of the people who seem to be liking what Tulsi has to say right now, they're like Trump people. So the idea that her running would hurt the Democrat more, I mean, that's just completely unfounded. That makes no sense. It's a shame that Hillary gave voice to that ridiculous accusation.
Does this give Tulsi Gabbard any extra oomph in the campaign? She's still been struggling in single digits, even though she's getting all this attention.
I mean, the thing that's amazing about this is that she's getting a boost in fundraising. She's going to get a boost in the polls. Not much. I mean, she might get another percentage point. This isn't really going to do anything for her long term, but get her some more attention. But it is so amazing to me that this is just having the exact opposite effect of what they want to have. If they would just ignore her, in many ways, it would be better for them. But this is just, you know, this is kind of par for the course. They can't imagine that somebody has a valid point that might disagree with them. And I think that they need to be arguing on the level playing field instead of just, you know, slurring kind of insults that don't make much sense.
Robbie, last point.
Yeah, and they can't argue that everyone they disagree with is a Russian plant. I mean, that's insane, paranoid, conspiratorial thinking that does not belong in our democratic process for deciding who the next president should be. Yeah. We can't go to this science fiction sort of fantasy that all our disagreements are because, like, one side is like literal spies from Russia.
If all else fails, Russia, Russia, Russia. Some come back to that no matter what. Robbie, Lee, appreciate you both coming in.
Thank you.
Coming up.